Okay, Catherine, age 17, Hawaii, asked about what kind of survival techniques I could use in case I run out of food or water. That's a good question. I've already run out of water, which obviously is one of the primary needs. I only brought 28 gallons with me and went through that pretty quickly. Fortunately, this is basically a rainforest, so I can very quickly catch water. I put up a tarp, rain falls into that, and I funnel it down into a bucket basically, and then I pour that through a filter, and then I refill my water jugs. Now I've got a 55-gallon jug, and once I have the house set up, and then we have a major rainfall, I'll probably put up one of the large tarps and kind of take the water collection issue very seriously. But once I fill up all the water jugs, and frankly I could probably do that in 2 or 3 hours in a good rainfall, I would be set for 2 to 3 months easily. But if that for some reason didn't happen, or it didn't happen quickly enough when I needed some water, there is snow just up the hill. I could actually go up there and melt some of that. That's not always real safe, but it is an option. There's also a stream over there that I could go to and boil the water, but that's a lot of work. There are other options as well. If you set a tarp down, water will come up from the ground just evaporating, and that's a pretty easy way to collect the water. You can basically put a weight in the center of a tarp and it'll fall into a can or a bucket or whatever, but those are very inefficient. There's also the ocean, and I could salinate the water, but that takes a lot of work. It also takes fire, which takes a lot of work to collect firewood or use some flammable equipment that I brought with me. So I'm not looking to that. I think that's water collection is the least of my concerns. Food is a concern. I have plenty of calories to get through the year. I brought 3,500 calories per day. Normally I'd need about 2,400 calories to maintain body weight, although it's cold here, and so you burn a little bit more. And then I'm also extremely active. When I first got here, I was kind of in shock just from the change in atmosphere, so I just wasn't hungry, and I was eating 400, 600 calories a day, and I finally brought it up to 1,200. But after 16 days, I lost 30 pounds, but I was overweight anyway, so that wasn't a real problem. But you can't sustain that. I would literally die in a couple months if I maintained that loss rate. But things settled down, and I started eating a more normal diet. I feel fantastic. I'm extremely active. I get a lot of fresh air and sunlight and whatnot, so I think I'm doing fine there. As far as animals, I saw a deer on the beach. I've got a 300 rifle, and I could have taken it down if I'd planned to. If I sat down there at 6 in the morning, I'd probably see one every morning. I see bones all over the place, so something is killing them, probably the bear, and then the birds pick up the bones and drop it on the beach. But there is no shortage of wildlife here. I've also seen grouse, which are little birds like dove or quail. There's a lot of fish. There's even mussels. I could go down even if I were injured and pick those up all day. They're little clams. Even my shrimp pots, I have failed to catch shrimp, but I catch a lot of little fish, which if I wanted to, I could actually eat those or use them as bait. But frankly, if I had a bucket full of small fish, you could eat that, and that's some very good fatty calories and a lot of protein as well. So I feel pretty optimistic about that. I plan primarily to make a lot of different types of breads. I've got wheat, and then I've got a lot of beans that I can make into flour and mix in maybe some rice, kind of make a composite bread with a better nutritional value, maybe some lentils and black beans or red beans. Mix that in with the rice and some basic bread that'll provide a little bit of protein and a lot of fat, because I put a lot of fat in there, and then a lot of carbs, which is almost the perfect diet. It's a little light on protein, so if I could go out and catch something, I've got a lot of snares and traps, and I've got a shotgun, and then fishing and whatnot. So I think there's plenty of options. I've been through I went through a survival school at the United States Air Force Academy many years ago, and went through a lot of these techniques, but I really haven't used a lot of those. But it looks like things are going to go really well here. There's plenty of things out in the wild. When winter comes, it'll be different. Of course, it may actually make it easier to see tracks and kind of figure out where the traffic flow is with the animals, and know where to set up snares and traps, or just wait and hunt. If there's anything I have a lot of, it is time. And so if I were really hungry, I could probably make some breadsticks and make little various types of bread, go out to a field and just wait there all day for the first thing to come by and shoot it. There's waterfowl, ducks, geese, crane you can eat, lots and lots of fish. So anyway, I may be overly optimistic, but we'll see what happens. I feel fine, so I'll let you know how it goes in a few months. Thanks for asking.